Welcome to Summoner's Rift, where a bear's patience is tested against the fatal melody of less than perfect Jhin. This is the story of a match that almost made me howl in frustration, but from which we emerged victorious. I was Volibear, the unstoppable thunder, and my mission was one, to protect my ADC, even from himself. Act 1. The beginning of Jhin's tragedy. The game began with the usual hope. Our Jhin, an artist of the shot, or so we thought, dove into the bottom lane with his support, Milo. The early advantage seemed ours. Jhin secured a few assists and a couple of minions, but the euphoria was short-lived. The enemy ADC, an aggressive Caitlyn, wasted no time in punishing him. Jhin, with his characteristic slowness, found himself caught in a lethal combo. He died, over and over again. Milo, our support, tried everything, throwing shields and heals, but it was useless. Jhin simply couldn't stay alive. The danger pings multiplied, and my patience began to fray. And he was doing what he could to control the map. But the bottom lane was a bottomless pit. I couldn't be everywhere. After a gank attempt that ended with Jhin dying once more, I decided to take charge. I needed to mitigate the damage, and fast. The enemy Caitlyn already felt unstoppable. Act 2. Volibear takes control. I returned to my jungle, looking for my grubs. I had to get gold and experience, because it was clear that the weight of the game was going to fall on my shoulders. As I farmed, I saw Nunu, the enemy jungler. My fury ignited. I couldn't protect him if he was throwing himself into the lion's den, but I could avenge him. I charged Nunu, stunned him, knocked him down, and punished him with my electric claws. I secured the kill. It wasn't much, but it was something. At least I recovered some of the gold we had lost from Jhin's deaths. With my morale somewhat restored, I dashed towards the dragon. We needed any advantage we could get. I secured it with a perfect smite, and meanwhile, Aatrox was in the top lane. Nunu, still low on health, appeared there. I gave Aatrox the information, and he didn't hesitate to engage him. Aatrox secured the kill, and although it wasn't mine, the team gained a little ground. Next, I focused on the Herald. I had to open up the map. I killed it, but in the process, I died. The frustration grew, but there was no time to give up. I respawned, healed, and saw Caitlyn pushing alone. It was my chance. I charged her, stunned her, managed to kill her. I used the remaining Herald and released it in the mid lane, knocking down 3 turrets in one go. That gave us a breather, some much-needed pressure. I continued fighting strategically, looking for opportunities, moving across the map. Act 3. The final charge and victory. The game reached a critical point. We needed more objectives. I commanded a battle in the mid lane, and my team, despite the disadvantages, secured a victory. That gave us the opportunity to take the coveted Infernal Dragon, which provided a significant damage advantage. However, the damage Jhin had done to the game was immense. It was a burden that felt unbearable. In another decisive mid-lane fight, I was tanking all the damage, but Jhin, once again, failed to do his job. He died having barely contributed, and I ended up falling with him. This gave the enemies a crucial advantage, and they quickly secured Baron. The situation was desperate. I looked for one last opportunity. I saw the enemy Caitlyn and Nunu moving carelessly. I signaled Aatrox, and we pounced on them. With a devastating combo, we managed to kill them. Finally, the enemy team was left without their main source of damage and without their jungler. This play gave us the much-needed breathing room to push and, with a final effort, destroy their nexus. It was a bitter victory, one with sweat and frustration, but a victory nonetheless. And all thanks to a Volibear who refused to give up, even when he had to carry a Jhin who seemed determined to lose the game.